All right, here we go. We are going to be looking at a couple data sets, and we're going to be finding the mean and standard deviation, and then using the context of the problem to actually make a statement about how far it typically deviates. So I am going to run through how to find this first two. I would like you to do number 1 and 2 by hand, and then I'm going to show you on number 3 how to do it using the calculator. So hopefully all goes well. So anyways, when you're finding the standard deviation, the very first thing that you have to do is find x bar. Remember, x bar is the mean. So you're going to add all these up and divide by the number of numbers you have. So you're taking the summation of all of the data sets, x sub I, and dividing it by n. So I'm going to take a minute, find the summation of all of the x values, and then put it over n. Okay, so you should get 23 over, there's 10 data sets, so over 10. So the mean for this is 2.3. Okay, so then to be able to find the standard deviation, you're going to take the subtraction between each of your data values and that mean. So next we're going to find the x sub I minus x bar for each one of these. So for the first one, you're going to have 1 minus 2.3. You're going to have another 1 minus 2.3. You're actually going to have 6 of these because there are 6 data points at the value 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to take your second data point, so 2 minus the 2.3. And then you're going to have 5 minus 2.3, 5 minus 2.3, and then 5 minus 2.3. So it's literally each of these data points minus your mean. And then you're going to find those actual values. So I'm going to actually take a minute, subtract them, and fill out the chart. Okay, so all I did was take and subtract all of these going across, and I got these values going down. This takes care of the x sub I minus x bar of the formula. Now if you look at there, you're going to square. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually find the x sub I minus x bar, and we're going to actually square. So we're doing it one step at a time, so we're going to square all of these numbers. So I'm going to take negative 1.3, square it, and get a value, and do the rest with all of the other ones. So when I squared all of these numbers, and I got these values over here, what that does is it makes them positive. So when you're actually finding the average, you're finding the average of a positive distance because distance is positive. Okay, so if you look at the formula next, the next piece that's attached directly to the parentheses is the summation. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you need to add all of these together. So we're going to add all these values together and get a summation. So that's where the summation comes into play. So we're going to get a total. We're going to add going down. I'm going to put it in green. So we're going to add those going down, and that will give us our summation. So go ahead and take a minute, add those down. Okay, so when you add all of those together, you should get 32.1. Okay, now that takes care of the top of this. So then, as you look at the formula, it says divide by n minus 1. Well, n is 10, so 10 minus 1 is 9. So we're going to take this value. Slide this down real quick. You're going to take this value and you're going to divide it by 9. So 32.1 divided by 9, and then we still have that square root around it. So 32.1 divided by 9 is 3.566, we'll say. And then if you take the square root of that, that will give you your standard deviation. So square root of second answer, and you get 1.89. So that's what we're going to use, 1.89. Now, once you get the standard deviation, you can put it in terms of the problem. So as you look up here, it says put it in terms of the context. So the context, so that is winning a basketball tournament. So you can say that the chances of winning a basketball tournament varied by 1.89 standard deviations from the mean of 2.3. So I'm going to write that out so you can see it. Okay, so when you're putting it in context, you should write something like this. It says, the times winning the basketball tournament typically vary by 1.89 from the mean of 2.3. So basically, if you have your mean, it's like 2.3 here, it's going to vary by 1.89 down below and 1.89 above. So that's how much it can vary from the mean for the standard deviation. Okay, so your data set varies that much from the mean going down and above. Okay, that's what the standard deviation is. It's how much it typically varies from the mean. I would like you to try number 2 by hand using this process. Okay, yes, this process is tedious. That's why I'm not going to do a lot of it by hand. But I do want you to understand that this is just pieces of the formula. So find the mean first. Take each data value minus the mean. Once you find those differences, you're going to square them. Okay, once you square them, you're going to add them up. Then you're going to divide by the n minus 1, which is your data set minus 1. So in this terms, it's 9. And then you're going to take the square root, and that will give you your standard deviation. Okay, I do want to show you how to do these by hand, or not by hand, by using the calculator. So we are going to look at number 3 next, and then I will show how the calculator can do all of this for you. The good thing is that with bigger data sets, it is very tedious to do it by hand, so the calculator does the majority of it for you. Number 3. This is given, the data set is given in the dot plot. So to be able to enter the data, I did show this on a previous video, but I want you to understand that how to do it just in case you didn't catch it. So your stat key is the one that you're going to enter the data in. So you're going to hit stats, and then you're going to edit. So we want number 1. So you're going to hit enter. Now, if you already have stuff in your list, now if you want to clear it out, you're going to go up and make sure it hits on L1, and then you're going to hit clear, and then enter, and it will clear out the whole list. And then you're just going to enter the data values that you have. So we have a 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We have a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 8s. 1, 2, and then an 18, 2 of them, and then a 22. Let me double check. So I should have 17. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I do have 17 data values. Okay, now if everything is entered correctly, you're going to go back to your stats, and then you want it to calculate. So we want it to calculate, so you're going to go over to calculate, and we want one variable stat, so number 1. Okay, and then we want it in list 1 because that's where we typed all of our data values, and then we want it just to calculate. Okay, so what this does for you, it gives you your X bar, which is your mean, and then it also gives you your standard deviation. SX is the one that we're using because that's your sample standard deviation, not your population. So we want the SX one. So you can say that your let's do 2 decimal places, so 7.41. So your x bar equals 7.41. And your standard deviation, so your SX is 6.13. SX equals 6.13. And then again, you can put that in terms of your product of the problem. So this is hits in a round of hacky sack. Okay, so let me write that out for you, and then you can see how it is in terms of the problem. Okay, so what you'll be doing for the explanation is you would put the hits in a round of hacky sack typically varies by, this is your standard deviation, 6.13 from the mean of 7.41. So your average is 7.41, so somewhere right in here. And these other values are going to typically deviate from it by the 6.13. So each problem should have an explanation after you get done finding these values. So for the rest of the worksheet, you can use your graphing calculator to help you find the standard deviation and the mean. Make sure you type in the values correctly and that you have a statement explaining what those two numbers mean.